Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the BTS Southeast Asia, our first cup for the region of 6 over the next year. And GoDz, Bananas versus First Departure. We saw the solo mid Tusk experiment, the off-lane Omni Knight. Seemed like it had potential, but wasn't good enough.
I'm always a fan of Miracle, and I'm seeing him experiment. He's the captain drafter, but it's still kind of the same old story. I mean, I kind of talked about Bananas. Some of these players have never really made it to the top, being like that tier 1 team even within their region. I feel like it's a bit the same with First Departure, where they haven't had that breakthrough. There's been times, and I would say it was, the Summit 2 where they qualified, and unfortunately couldn't come. Here. But that was like First Departure at their best. It still didn't even feel like at the time they were the best team in Southeast Asia on any consistent level. It's just like they played their best Dota in one tournament, qualified for the Summit, unfortunately couldn't come, and even if they could have come, they kind of fell off as being the best team in Southeast Asia anyways. So. Right.
The struggle.
It's hard. Yeah,
it's tough for these teams, especially in Southeast Asia that are from like Singapore or Korea, where you've got the military service. And I think with Singapore, it starts younger than Korea, or like it's harder to defer it. It seems like, judging by everyone that I've seen who's a player or caster from there. Even like Sander had to go and do his like as soon as he turned 18.
As soon as you kind of graduate high school, you either go in, unless you're going to study at like high level education, you go into your military service, and even if you do like university, then you do military service after university. So you can postpone it if you're studying. Basically, is how I understand it.
Yeah, but if you and then you still have to actually study. Yeah, so you only have so much time to play on Dota.
Yeah, so
definitely makes things harder. But no excuses for now. First Departure are playing. And they are not out of this one by any means. But let's start off the draft. And, well, again, the Lina gets ignored here, GoDz. Interesting to see these teams not prioritizing it. But it will not be an early pickup.
Ninja Boogie really likes the Winter Wyvern. And even back in the Rave days, they were playing this quite a lot. So
who can blame him? Those vacuums into 3 hero curses. It felt like that was the Darkseer Wyvern show, honestly. Like Storm, PL, they did their job, but the game changers were those two big team fights.
There's the respect band. So I think First Departure acknowledging the exact same fact. That is, those two cause them all sorts of problems.
And the Brood gets banned here. First Departure not wanting to get cheesed at all. And who can blame them? They are facing elimination here. Should they lose this one, they will go home empty-handed.
Yeah, so if see if a bit more standard carry comes out. I was about to say PL would maybe be saying that Miracle once, but that was actually first banned by Bananas, so we won't be seeing a PL at all this draft.
Somebody takes the Lina. Jeez, finally. It's almost like you got to force feed it. It's like it's like a baby who will only eat its vegetables and doesn't want any ice cream, you know? Kind of backwards. I guess babies aren't really supposed to eat ice cream, huh? Probably not the best analogy.
In America, they can.
In America, they can, and they do.
Yeah.
Too much ice cream, not enough veggies.
So mid options are a little limited for Bananas, like the big 3, the Lesh, Lina, Storm. I feel like right now 2 of them banned, 1 of them taken by First Departure. So Queen of Pain maybe, Queen of Pain also banned. So there we go. Like the 4 big mid heroes kind of taken out. I do like the Clockwork pick. It's a good kind of counter initiator for Lina or Spirit Breaker, and just a hero can just go in with a Blade Mail, and you can't really touch him for that little bit of time. So I feel like their mid hero does need to be something with a decent amount of burst damage, so as to what that might be, I don't know. I'm scratching my head, LD.
Oh, comes the Sand King now for First Departure. Bananas. There's a... I mean, what else? There's mid heroes. There's a Shadow Fiend in the pool. There is a Storm available still.
No,
Storm got banned. Yeah. You're right.
Shadow Fiend, I think Shadow Fiend's actually a good option.
TA, maybe.
Dire Side, pretty good against the Lina. I mean, to me, TA versus Lina is actually kind of an even matchup. Lina just constantly pokes you, breaks your refraction, and
her attack range is just so good.
Yeah, and when TA goes in for last hits, Lina can quite often hit stuns. So, but I think TA is still a fine pick mid against Lina. It's just not like a matchup where TA is like, oh, it's a counter to the Lina. You'll win the matchup.
Yeah, it's a not feeder to the Lina, which is often can be good enough.
Yeah. So Gyro is much more like a fight, a lot of spread damage, nuke damage coming from the spells, less physical damage until much later on. So TA works quite nicely. And even late game, Gyro spread damage, you don't really finish people off. So TA kind of acts as a nice little cleanup, which is where I think the TA is a bit better than maybe a Shadow Fiend. But other options, maybe a Illusion Jesus Tinker, something I've seen him play before, at least in the pub scene. but it doesn't really strike me as a tinker game against Spirit Breaker, Sand King, and even Lena like with the Yule Scepter.
Not for either team.
Yeah,
You've got the clock on bananas as well.
So they're not too committed to one mid hero, because if there was one mid hero they really wanted, I feel like you fourth pick it there, because otherwise it gets banned. Wind Ranger is something we didn't consider.
Yeah, Wind Ranger could have been decent.
Similar to TA, but better in the laning stage.
A bit harder to gank in general. She'll just be so far back in the lane.
Yeah.
And just give you that heavy burst damage later on if you get the Blink Shackle Focus Fire. Bananas with the 5th ban now, still to come. Oh, see what First Departure 1 is their 1 position hero. Does feel like a Lena mid. Do they go back for like a Naga Siren even? You know, maybe run the Lena safe lane.
The classic Miracle.
I just feel. I mean, Song into Static Storm, Epi. It's pretty good combo. I would say.
They've got some nasty team fight going on.
I mean, honestly, even though Naga's not really the meta carry right now, I feel like versus Miracle, it's never a bad idea to consider banning it.
Yeah, I'd agree there. They could consider taking Shadow Fiend, but I guess that would mean Lena or SF would have to go safe lane, which is not really what you want. Yeah. So against Clock, I don't really know if you change too much what you're picking because you're against a Clockwork. You want something with some zoning potential, but Disruptor can handle a lot of it. So here's like Juggernaut still in the pool, and
how about an anti-mage here?
Oh, Husker, that's a little cheeky pick. That has come out from Miracle before, actually, in the past. And right now they have no good heroes for really dealing with Husker. No good physical damage or pure damage. Anti-mage, I think it's not the easiest matchup versus Clock. There's also a lot of catch for him: Winter's Curse, Lion, Clockwork, and no heroes that are good mana void targets right now. So it'd be more about the playstyle than the hero actually like being a counter in any ways. To
can we hope for a Meepo here, perhaps?
You can always hope for Meepo, if only
and be left always
wasn't
forever disappointed.
Like the bottom 5 heroes in the game right now.
That is the AM. But like you said, not the easiest anti-mage game, GoDz.
Yeah.
And if they wanted that Templar Assassin, that is a hero that can absolutely man-fight an AM if she's got the farm.
I feel like TA without a doubt is the best pick here for Bananas. There's nothing that... I mean, the Shadow Fiend's like, to me, kind of close-ish second, but whatever SF does, I feel like TA just does better. You can push better, take Roche better, you can burst down single targets better. Slightly weaker team fight 5-man, but I don't know if that's really what you need out of this last pick, so they don't go TA though. Ember.
Wow, it is not an easy Ember game at all. You've got a Yule Scepter carrier to remove the Flame Guard, the Lena. You've got the Spirit Breaker lockdown, Glimpse, Static Storm, Blake Sandcane stun. This is going to be one of the tougher Ember games, and Illusion Jesus to play it is this really a mid-Ember versus Lena? Could struggle, I feel, GoDz.
Yep. I think Wyvern's going to be offering a lot. It's basically going to be the same kind of story as last game, where Ninja Boogie, level 1, Arctic Burn, harass away at the Lena. So in a lot of ways, it's going to be kind of dual lane mid from Bananas. You can't just send Ember mid in like a straight up 1v1. They'll look for that same kind of harass play. And something also to remember last game, like as close as that game was, that was like everything going perfectly for Bananas from level 1, with the Winter Wyvern even getting the Courier Snipe, which I doubt we'll see again. But this time around, it's going to be Shaitan on the Winter Wyvern, and I expect to see him spending a lot of time near mid.
Yeah, keeping his buddy safe. Well, let's see if it's going to be enough. We'll introduce the teams now. Bananas leading 1-0. It's a best of 3. For those joining us, it's an elimination match. All matches are single elim here. No wasted time, no second chances. You win or you go home. Lord Boons, your offlane clock here for Bananas. Illusion Jesus handling the Ember Spirit. Taking up the Gyrocopter will be Mr. Slicks. It's Black Shaitan on the Wyvern. And that does leave Ninja Boogie, the Lion. And last but not least, did I get everyone? I think I did. Yeah, I'm trying to introduce a 6th player that doesn't exist. After last game, I don't think Bananas need that extra man. Over on the Radiant side, First Departure. Miracle, the Anti-Mage Fixers, the Lena. Kai handling the Sand King. Kaw taking over the Spirit Breaker. And bringing up the reserve is Lubby, a longtime partner of Miracle's on the Disruptor.
This is a mid Anti-Mage, by the way.
Well, that was definitely a curveball. I
saw Miracle playing it. I just assumed he was going to swap lanes, but no, he's gone mid.
They see the Ember likely headed mid, and they think they can take the AM.
I mean, he doesn't get bullied too much by a Wyvern coming in.
Stun a Miracle to start this off, but charge comes through. Ninja Boogie doesn't even get the bounty rune, and a lot of backup here. Miracle with the first blood. No, Fixers will take it, but still, great start off the bat. The single bounty rune secured, and the first blood going the way of the team that currently trails 1-0.
Yeah, so that's going to give Miracle a nice little edge in this mid lane, having a bounty rune over the Ember Spirit as well. Both players with a poor man's shield and a couple tangos. Looks like additional tangos coming out for Anti-Mage, but very interesting choice to send Miracle here.
Illusion Jesus opting for that early point in Sleight of Fist. You generally do not see this on Ember until much later on. And no points in Flame Guard, no early chains, just a bit of bonus physical damage here.
Yeah, I guess he's just going to kind of spam it on the Anti-Mage for harass.
It's not very spammable at level 1.
Yeah.
30-second cooldown.
I think he saw Anti-Mage just with the 2 pulled tangos and was like, I can kind of bully him out of the lane. Let's just get some right-click damage coming out.
Chains are used here. Miracle, he's got to be careful. That Sleight of Fist could almost finish him off. It is used there by Illusion Jesus, looking to dodge a tower shot on the way out. And Miracle down to just tangos here. No salve yet. I think, like you said, he saw the regen advantage that he had because he also has the salve available. And he's trying to push it to the limit.
Yeah, Miracle not getting much farm underneath his tower as well as the other issue he's going to run into.
Just a little slap here from Illusion Jesus. This time thanks to tower shots.
It's still kind of worth it. You still got the HP advantage, and you kind of talked about the salve. Although this time Miracle going to blink aggressively mid Illusion Jesus.
He's got the salve. Miracle wants to cancel this. He can't dive the tower. Okay. But he does force out the salve at least.
Now Miracle's kind of regained himself in this mid lane. Neither player with farm, by the way. Both have 3 CS right now.
No,
they're just trading
so much attention on this lane. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Lord Boons, there's a tri-lane waiting. His own cogs turned against him. The Glimpse will pull him back to the other side, and down he will go in the end. The second kill of the game also going the way of first departure.
I think this is the least farm I've seen on like a mid 1v1 matchup.
Yeah, this is the
combined.
This is the screw you lane.
Yeah. Neither of us shall farm. That's great.
If I can't have fun, you won't either.
And that's a bigger issue for Ember right now because Ember really wants to complete a bottle. I mean, I think Anti-Mage might. I think I maybe saw this once before for Miracle because I was like, I wonder if. Because I was like, I remember theory crafting like, oh, I don't think you go for a bottle mid Anti-Mage, and then he did. So.
Mushi did that.
Oh yeah, that's maybe what I'm thinking. It was Mushi on the mid Anti-Mage.
I mean, this was when Mushi was like the mid god.
Yeah.
I think like TI3 era shortly thereafter, and you know you'd see like him go Sandkin mid and dominate those kind of pocket picks where he would just have the right matchup and really take advantage of it. We have a glimpse available bottom for Lubby if he wants to use it. Not going to engage. But yeah, he dominated that particular matchup.
Well, with Bottle coming out now, he can be a bit more reckless with this harass. And Miracle, 2 gold short of his, is not going to do so. He's sending it to the Ring of Health.
Yeah. Or yeah, Ring of Health. Yeah.
Okay, so he'll be going a different route.
You don't get that from the secret shop now, though, do you? No, it's
you don't.
It's at the
Actually,
base
yeah.
I think he's forgotten. I think he's going to send it there and then be like, oh, shit.
Or he's buying the energy booster, of course. Arcane boots.
Yeah, he just bought it. He's like, oh, crap.
Oh, Miracle. Now he's going to pay the price. Meanwhile, mid.
No Ring of Health. I don't know if it would matter here, but he will die regardless. Illusion Jesus on the run. The charge coming through. The bash. The bash. Got him anyway. And just for good measure, you have one too.
Oh, he got the creep as well.
The triple bash.
If only
there was a fun clip, which was like literally, I think it was like a 1 in a billion, like 8 or 9 bashes in a row, something like that.
I think I saw that one.
It was on Reddit. I enjoyed that.
Always fun to see.
But yeah, Miracle, maybe he's expecting to die God. So he's like, I'm going to get this for free anyway. I'm just going to make sure the courier gets a little exercise, you know. Take it out. Take it out for a walk so it doesn't poop the house.
It's great to see even like the top pro players like forgetting stuff like that.
And that's one where like I know that it's at the base, but I doubt myself. It's like Miracle's such a good player. There's no way he'd ever make a mistake.
It's one of those things that's actually harder for the long-time pro players because so much of it is just like habit and
it's burned into your brain.
How many tens of thousands of games of Dota have they sent the courier to that secret shop to buy a Ring of Health? Like even like it's a lot easier for people who've just been playing Dota 2 for a couple of years or
even like the new Vlad's recipe. I remember how much trouble everyone had with that. I think I was casting with Merlini and he confused it like 4 or 5 times in one day, and I the previous day I had to correct myself. Well, chat corrected me, 3 or 4 times. So I'm sitting there feeling all smart. Times are changing, and who knows what kind of change 6.85 will bring, or maybe it's going to be 7.00. There's speculation, gods, because the last patch of the 5 series was 5.84. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if the Frog's ready to go to a new series.
Yeah, I feel like we're not at the time where we need that huge jump. That may happen, like, it'll probably happen before the next year. Boons. Another kill on the clock. This clock is getting bullied around.
Clock down, and we'll see Illusion Jesus still kind of holding his own here in the mid lane. We have not talked much at all about the gyrocopter of Bananas, but Slicks is quietly getting his free farm to match the Fixer's Lina. So both safe laners having a great time here. And much more even start in terms of the CS department so far, gods.
And Slicks has a TP. He's ready to rotate with cooldown and level 3 Rocket Barrage, but like rotating to the off lane where there's a tri lane is just not really a lane where you can easily get kills and get much done is the problem. And mid lane's an anti-mage who's kind of an ungankable hero as well, so there's not really any obvious places to TP to or rotate towards. So Slicks is kind of like, well, I got to just keep farming top and wait for the kind of first departure to rotate towards like mid lane, for example, and then counter gank using his TP scroll.
Not really able to find those ganks, and is constantly burning Illusion Jesus' mana, who does have the ability to drop a remnant here, but it's a straight up the lane charge coming. Not sure he was expecting that. The Wyvern will TP in, and also the Lion here to greet him as well. Call now scrambling to the north. He is being pursued by an Illusion here. There's no chains at the ready. He might be able to charge himself away from this one, trying to get into the fog, but Ninja Boogie there, no, misses the stun. Call gallops to the south and will retreat.
He's got the stack as well, although...
Miracle going in.
Yeah, it's a brave anti-mage, already with...
The bootsless jungle ganking anti-mage. Just straight regen here. Rune of regen, Rune of health.
Yep.
And just plodding around the enemy woods. Got him.
This Lina is just getting out of control. Has almost enough money for the Yule Scepter. I think about like 100 short now.
No Bloodstone Rush this time. Just against the Ember Spirit, having the ability to just remove that Flame Guard instantly is really powerful, I feel.
Yeah, so we'll see Lina maybe get on the move.
She's rich. She could just like buy a Midas now if she wanted to. Not the build, but yeah, there is a completed 7.5-minute Yules.
Yeah. It's going to be Lina rotating around the map and causing problems, not Gyro, which is, to me, kind of maybe the opposite than what you'd expect.
All does have a charge available. Might need to blow it here. The Rocket Barrage really doing work on him. He rushes in towards mid and will retreat, but that leaves this top lane free to farm. Out of regen here. Slicks can kill him with just one more Rocket Barrage. Could even consider diving the tower.
I think Lina's going to look for like a TP Yule's top and try and catch Slicks out by surprise. May even look to smoke since it's daytime as well, which makes it really difficult to find ganks now as a Lina. Like walking up and using people during daylight is not easy.
And they are, this is somewhat expected, I would think, for Bananas, is that bottom lane is pushed in. The ping just comes out now from Illusion Jesus on the Ember that something's going on here.
Somewhat expected that a rotation's happening, but I don't know if they're expecting an 8-minute Yules.
No, the Yules, the Yules definitely not.
I mean, maybe Clock's saying, hey, this Lina got Bounty Rune and a bunch of kills, so it's possible, but...
Okay. A nice setup here, though. They do show the Spirit Breaker low HP in lane, baiting them in a little bit. Call down coming through, though. Lina Yulesing herself to dodge this one, but also setting herself up for a Lion stun and some follow-up damage. She can turn with the 2-hero stun, but she gets hexed right as she's thinking about it. Fixers! Hesitation means nothing doing, and they also lost the Disruptor on the retreat. 2-0.
That was just amazing positioning from the Banana supports. They were protecting Gyro from both sides and just not allowing any plays to come in on the Gyro there. That was just so nice. Winter Wyvern especially. Scanning. Like, you run to the Winter Wyvern there, you can't Yules the Winter Wyvern because you're going to get cooldown dropped on you and you're instantly dead. That was such a big play for Bananas and so important because that was the free farming Lina rotating and instantly dying.
And I think he also even got fogged there as he Arctic burned over the trees.
Yeah.
So might not have even been able to target him if he wanted to. Making things tough here on first departure. And once again, gods, the farm for Bananas, not stompy by any means, but they still managed to find it even under the early pressure. We see a lot of CS early for the Gyro. And Slicks going for the Morbid Mask rush, so we see a lot of Ancient stacking here at this rate.
And that's where it looks like Ember just going for cheap basic items.
Lina finally looking for the opening. There's the Laguna, but Slicks is tanky. He's able to survive through this Yule Scepter deployed along with the Static Storm. He doesn't get off the cooldown to punish the dive, but still Lubby trapped out completely with Lord Boons there to wrangle him in. He will end up going down, and looks like the Lina will skate away for now, but chasing is the Ember. Illusion Jesus, double remnant forward, slight efficient. The chains would be enough for the kill, but he doesn't get the chains. He didn't have the mana for it.
He had the bottle as well. He just needed to bottle first.
Didn't do the math. That hurts. And now he's got the Aquila, which may have given him the regen required without the bottle. A little unfortunate there.
Yeah, that would have been a really big and important kill for Illusion Jesus. Killing the level 8 Lina when you're behind already as the Ember, that would have been very handy.
Now Miracle has boots.
He's pulling away from this Ember Spirit.
He really is, and it puts a couple more eggs in the gyrocopter basket to be sure. And if you've only got the one farm core, we have seen what Linas can do time and again. That is not the position you want to be in.
Yeah. This is a Lina who you've got to imagine will farm an eggs in a pretty timely fashion, so... But that's what their work cut out for them. I feel like they're going to be looking to kind of play around the Gyro Clockwork duo. And even their two supports both have hit level 6. So you've got Winter's Curse and Finger of Death, two very high impact ultimates floating around that they probably want to look to use to try and find some high priority kills on heroes like Lina. Even the Sand King, if you can catch him before he completes a Blink Dagger.
We haven't talked about the Sand King, and I think Bananas haven't been thinking much about him either, which is great news for first departure.
Yeah.
Quietly has the Blink Dagger more or less ready to go here. Level 6, they never warded the jungle. They didn't try to gank his stacks. They were purely reacting to a lot of the first departure movements towards top.
Yeah, they just had... I mean, Ember was kind of getting a bit beaten down mid lane. Clockwork died. There was just the one kill from the Sand King on bottom before going back to the jungles. Mostly just the Disruptor and Lina as a duo. So Bananas had too many problems elsewhere to deal with to dedicate any resources towards the Sand King. So yeah, as a result, they're in this position where they just got to accept that Sand King has got a 12-13 minute Blink Dagger coming online soon.
Call now level 6 and change has the ultimate ready. Miracle is continuing to get his farm here. Still a bit behind the gyro, but that can change quickly once the Battle Fury comes out. And we'll be left alone in the mid lane. Not too much pressure towards the AM. The blink forward aggressively into a chains from Illusion Jesus, poking and prodding. But this is just buying time for the rotation to come around. How do they start this one off here? You've got to worry about the potential Remnant out, and they do begin with the Yule Scepter, but the hook's there. Lord Bones was ready. He finds two. Static Storm not going to have any sort of fault. The Lina stun off the market. Now the chain's coming out. Finger. See ya, Fixers. No chance for a Laguna, and a slice of those Divine Rapiers will ultimately bring down a second. Now Miracle could be next. He blinks out Remnant into a chain. Should get the job done, but he doesn't get the chains. Miracle on a fraction of HP. He just gets tickled and barely squeaks away. Should have been 3 there, but unlucky. Looks like he didn't have the vision for the chains there.
I think it was even just out of range. That Slight was on cooldown. There was no way to, I think, get the anti-mage there. Maybe if he'd used the Fire Remnant like half a second early to chase him, but that one was just a bit unfortunate. I don't think he really misplayed that one at all. They go in
but
mid.
they happy. There's the reveal of the Blink Dagger and Slam Jam from Miracle. Collect his freebie there with the Mana Void.
Yeah, he shows up for the last hit too, just to work towards that Battle Fury. So
that could have been such a good fight for first departure. You really gotta. I mean, Lord Boods maybe a bit lucky to be there mid, but it seemed like Bananas were expecting it, GoDz. But man, that hook really.
Oh yeah.
It salvaged what could have been a very bad fight.
I don't think. Yeah, to me that was not at all luck. Just right place, right time, knowing what kind of first departure we're looking to do, and just reading the game really well.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Good timing as well to come before the blink. If the blink were there, could have been bad. Slick's getting charged. Does he get the cooldown off before being bashed? No. Initial stun, Lina follow-up, Laguna, and a follow-up Sand King stun, so the double follow-up. Meanwhile, mid, Miracle being chased. There is a Remnant. Static Storm, though, preventing a chain's follow-up. And again, Miracle making the great escape. He continues to find his way out of these very dodgy situations.
Yeah. EJ has just been just a tiny bit off the mark on so many kills here.
It would be so funny if after living all those times to heroes, he just dies to the neutrals. He's got to play it safe here and let them get leashed before he starts going after them.
Yeah, this Ember's still even just looking to finish off his treads, so this is a very poor Ember Spirit.
They do have a good ward here. Miracle's so low that a hook
He's playing
and an auto
so
attack.
greedy.
Oh, he blinks forward into Lord Boone. That's not going to work.
I mean, honestly, serves you right for playing that greedy on that low
With
HP.
no vision in his jungle.
I
mean, look at the map. Like,
I'm glad that I see that happen for the sake of like pub games or any games out there. Like that's what you deserve to have happen to you if you're farming on that HP with no vision around your jungle and
like 4 enemy heroes missing, I think, at the time. So.
Even no vision around the mid lane. There's no radiant like high ground ward at mid. It's
the greed. It's done in many a Dota player in their day. Do look for call here, top lane. Fingers available. Ninja Boogie, can he get the Hex out first? He drops a ward. He does see call now. It's
the radiant vision has been very lacking. It's some of the other games we've seen, the BTS SCA, we've seen some amazing vision, and both these two teams haven't really been quite as on point as like what we saw of like Net and higher, like during the Fnatic games, for example.
First Parcher looking for a big combo play here, but the Winter's Curse may turn this one around. Again, the Static Storm in a good position. Laguna used, Fixers on the run. Illusion Jesus did have the chains, but he didn't have the range to get it off, and Kai, where he misses with the first burrow, he connects on the second, making it a 2-0. And we're not seeing the Gyrocopter getting too involved in these fights, GoDz. Just farming away top. Maybe thinking about rotating now, but it has been. The Anti-Mage feels like he's been as involved in the fights as the Gyro.
Yeah, strangely somehow that's...
More as bait maybe than as a damage dealer.
Yeah.
In the fights nonetheless.
I guess he's just feeling like he's kind of stuck around this mid lane, but here we go again.
They have a finger, but again the 2-hero burrows, the plays from Kai, slowing things down. Now the rotation call does charge away. And he'll make it out again. Kai just finding the openings. This blink on the Sand King has really worked some magic.
Yeah. It was
I jinxed him, though.
Very, very quiet for the first 10, 12 minutes, but he didn't need to anything. His team were doing fine, winning mid lane, winning bottom lane without him.
Dominator was picked up. Didn't see. Did the Radiant actually ward these? Because I do see a sentry drop down. Maybe got blocked early.
Yeah, I think it might have been blocked early. I didn't actually catch that.
But in any case, he's gotten the underwhelming regular Hellbear. And he is using it to stack the Ancients up.
Yep.
Gotta play that economy game.
Slick's not all that farm, though, himself. He is top of the net worth chart, but like for 16 minutes, you'd normally expect like more like 7 to 8k net worth, but mid lane.
The fight breaks out. Static Storm here. Burrow forward. No mana on the Sand King to get off an epicenter, but it seems it's not needed. There's the 2-hero storm. This is a big ultimate for the Gyro, but where's the follow-up damage? They don't have anything to combo with this. They do get the Sand King, but not a whole lot else. This time, just lacking the full squad. They do bring in at long last the line, getting off the finger, secured a second kill, making it a 2-for-2. But the Ember Spirit not really able to get a whole lot accomplished in that fight. Bananas just not finding that huge 5-man team fight, but still finding the 2-for-2 at least. Not getting Miracle again though, GoDz, and despite the greed costing him once, overall he is keeping up in the CS department and right there with the enemy Gyro.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of scary for them, I feel like. Once the Battle Fury comes online and Miracle starts doing the old split push, pressures the lane thing, they're going to have to deal with that while worrying about like taking objectives and getting back in this game. They're yet to take a T1 tower on the dire side, and that to me is probably a concern for Bananas. They don't just want to be sitting back because they're not really farming all that well right now.
Do you feel it's kind of a reverse of what we saw last game, where it seemed like First Departure was the team on a clock, or do you think this goes either way late?
I think definitely First Departure favored. You've got, like, I would say Lena's like in a lot of ways a late game carry just because of the Ags upgrade, and the ability to itemize it with items like Refresher as well as Hex. So I think for the most part, First Departure is a stronger late game. Even heroes like Spirit Breaker as well, very potent.
Speaking of Spirit Breaker, he's surrounded, taking battery assault damage as well as the chains, the cogs pushback, preventing Lovey from the easy engage, but they rotate in. Fixer now gets the stun. Laguna there, but he dies to the bleed now. Fixers, no. No. That's not what he was looking for. Lucian Jesus may end up going down here. Remnants forward, gets out of range. Get me to safety, he says, and will end up avoiding some of that epicenter damage. Miracle, now the man next, trapped a bit. There was a chains available, but Illusion Jesus opting not to use it as they get a homie missile onto Miracle, pounding into him with the rockets. This may end up forcing him back. Indeed it will. That blade mail. Oh boy.
Yeah, Illusion Jesus is like flirting with danger constantly with this Ember. He's really trying to push Tiro to the limit. It's unfortunately just like barely not worked in a few occasions, but like right there he played it very well going in.
Ninja Boogie?
Yeah,
he's I think 20 short of his Blake. Oh, he's going to regret that one.
He didn't get the memo that everyone was retreating. Missed that communication. One of the tier 1 towers.
All he had to do was run away, and he would have gotten the blink just from passive gold gain. But this has been a game of greed, gods, and this time it's him who pays.
The really nice pesky combo for the Ember this game isn't so much the Lina Yule's LSA, it's the Yule's into silence, because there's no way out of that. You can actually dodge the light strike array using your Fire Remnant out of the Yule's, but you can't do so with the silence there. So in a lot of ways, the Disruptor Ultimate's the big kind of spell to lock down Ember in these fights when they initiate in.
There's the Battle Fury, and Vlad's now well under construction, despite having to come to fights a lot. Miracle continues to stay on top here in terms of net worth, and he is officially now ahead of the enemy Gyrocopter gods, who has gone Sanj, is stacking Ancients, but doesn't have a big stack as of yet. Just his first triple of the game, I believe.
Yeah, smoking on through here, but it doesn't look like they'll run into Anti-Mage. It may be... Oh, no.
They might. This will be pretty big. The timing's got to be just right here, though. Illusion Jesus not able to find him in the nick of time.
He blinks back towards me, I think realizing that they have no control of their jungle. Ancients is much safer, and, well, he's also got a stack there, so it's more farm anyways.
Good space created for your Anti-Mage. He clears out his own Ancients. He's now got his Morbid Mask available, and that is pretty much the Vlad's. Just needs the recipe. Only 80 gold short.
Yeah, and Lina got the tier 1 top tower. Managed to get find some farm elsewhere on the map as well. So
Bloodstone looks to be the next item. Getting there rather quickly.
I'd say overall, First of Archer should be fairly comfortable with where they are right now. Still some ways to go, but...
Ninja Boogie, he never walked up the hill here. He didn't actually see Kai, who's in the perfect position for a big epicenter. Illusion Jesus remnanting through. He does throw out the chains, but the cavalry have arrived in the form of Ka with a quick nether strike. Ends the Lion before he can do a single thing. Up on the high ground, meanwhile, Lord Boons has gotten very deep. He will interrupt an epicenter that was being channeled by Kai, but the Laguna Blade comes and does a lot. Illusion Jesus forced back quite a bit, and can he be glimpsed into the rest of the fight? Doesn't look like it. They will end up losing the Disruptor. Black Shaitan going to be the trade for that one as the Monoblade finishes off the Winter Wyvern. Slicks an additional kill. 4 down now. Miracle cleaning up. And the Rocket unable to do much. And with that, Miracle. Vlad's complete. Another 1,200 gold banked up. They've got an Anti-Mage problem, gods.
And they were trying to start the fight by insta-killing the Disruptor, but it was actually the Ember who missed the Remnant to the high ground. He activated it too early, so the Remnant never actually reached the high ground. And he fell short, so he was still on the low ground. All he could do was slide a fist searing change from low ground to high ground, but he needed to be up there with the fire shield damage to actually kill off and secure the kill.
And look at this.
Oh dear.
From bad to worse.
Yep. Lions in the neighborhood, but even with a finger, I don't see them getting this.
In fact, he might be punished for this. They're content with the Ancients. Oh, man. The economic damage. It looked like a 3,000 gold swing just from the fight, but that's misleading. That is much more of a 5,000 gold swing with another 1,000, 1,200 gold worth of Ancients going the wrong direction in that particular fight. Big pickup for Miracle, and now 3,000 gold up on a Gyro who was beating him through the first 15 minutes or so.
And Ember's just playing in a different ballpark. He's in the little leagues right now as far as where he stands. He's on par with the Sand King as far as overall farm, and this Sand King is getting a lot more done in fights with multiple Burrow Strikes. He was the one who kind of caused all the problems and secured the kill in the Ember Spirit the last fight, so...
And like you said, the Lina. I mean, if you're going to have a secondary core who's not as farmed, Lina with an Ags, you got to imagine, going to offer a lot more than an Ember who's fairly squishy and has to be in the middle of the fight to really dish out the damage.
Yeah. Right now for Bananas, probably going to go look to just, as much as getting their Ancient Stolen is annoying, I think they just start stacking them again because they need to play more of a farm game. There's no way they can really take fights with their Ember Spirit's level of farm right now. He's just so far behind, so poor. Potentially they can look to use the other heroes, use the Winter's Curse with the Lion, they've got Finger, and fight while the Ember Spirit farms elsewhere on the map. But it's not like Ember's not really a flash farming hero. If there's fights going on that Bananas are maybe making trades on or potentially getting a slight win on, he wants to be there because he'll farm and catch up quicker team fighting and getting kills than he will anywhere on the map farming creeps, just because of the nature of the hero. Compared to a hero like Anti-Mage, who'll probably farm faster jumping from camp to camp than he does going for hero kills. So it's a terrible position for an Ember Spirit player to be in. This is one of those heroes where I think I saw a game yesterday in the ESL qualifiers where there was like a really close 70-minute game, but the Ember Spirit at the end was like 2-15 and was basically the reason the team lost. But it's a similar situation to this where once you fall behind, there's no real farming comeback mechanic for the hero, and you try and fight, but you're so poor that you die every single fight, so you never get to stay alive long enough to get that comeback kill gold.
He's just so much more gankable as well in a lot of ways. Because of the mobility first departure have, the glimpse, the static storm, the Yules in the static storm, the
Burrow Strike, Spirit Breaker, they've got so much control for him.
Meanwhile, how are you killing this Anti-Mage? You've got a Blink on Lion. That's it.
They don't have the damage to follow it up. There's no actual physical damage. At this point, I think killing the Anti-Mage with like a Blink Hex Impale would require...
They need to get the curse off as well.
A lot of heroes, yeah. I feel
and
like
at least one carry right-clicking the whole while.
Yeah, I think they could do it with 3 heroes, like Lion, Wyvern, plus Ember, with like a Searing Chains and like a Sleight of Fist and some right-clicks. But it would require at least 3 heroes and constant.
And one of those heroes
stuns.
does not have a blink, the Wyvern. So
yeah.
That's where maybe the clock also needs to be involved to let him get in range. And it's all a lot of theory crafting and ifs and maybes, and meanwhile, first departure dealing in certainties, which are that Miracle is going to just keep on farming and getting additional gold. They will smoke. This will break. And Lord Boons was spotted out, it looks like, as the smoke dissipated. They leap forward with the Anti-Mage. Miracle, kind of an offensive blink, but they can't really focus him down. Ninja Boogie jumping to the north. It looks like they want fixers. They do get the Lina off the bat. The rest of the team on the retreat. Lekshaton unable to catch up, and they sacrifice the Lina, but it's for the greater good as the rest of the team dodges the bigger pickoff.
Yeah, I thought they might take a fight there, but it was a full 5-man smoke, and they actually didn't have Disruptor with them, so they sacrifice one for... It's kind of the safe play where you just sacrifice one rather than make a big kind of 4v5 team fight, which I think might have gone evenly, but even an even fight where you don't kill Ember is the kind of fight where the Ember catches up, so that would actually be potentially a really bad exchange for first departure if that happened.
Top tower is
Push does come in the top lane now as Kai hides in the trees. Pings are out, and he's looking for the epicenter initiation, but it's a bit of a flop. Still gets the burrow up on Slicks. That's going to be it. They think about another streak with the missile following Kai, as they did actually see him before he fully initiated, and this is all just time for Mr. Miracle. He will blink away. He wants the courier to finish delivering the Manta, and he'll grab that. Now I'm thinking about a jump back in. He is very scary right now at 14k net worth.
Yeah, and the other scary thing, if he blinks on the Ember and just quickly mantas, maybe you can burn enough mana that Ember doesn't have the mana to Remnant out, and suddenly that's a dead Ember Spirit.
They want call top lane, it seems. Making their move in. Call down's there. Does he charge out in time? No, he had like a quarter of a second there, didn't use it, and will end up going down. But again, GoDz, it's created for the bane of all magic.
You picked up an Invis rune to go in. There's a couple wards around, but Anti-Mages actually don't solo Roshan as much as they used to. It used to be a lot easier, but with some of the Roshan buffs, it's gotten a bit tougher. But
and you're up against a Clock and an Ember, 2 heroes that are good at scouting Rosh, where normally it's kind of a risky play, but they didn't see it coming.
It just is kind of gone out of the Anti-Mage metagame where you solo Roshan, like especially at this time and this early. It's no longer really a big thing, but as a result, yeah, it's not going to go completely unscouted.
We'll get that Roche for free. They use this time, Bananas, to get down some aggressive wards. One over towards the middle lane. Is there going to be a jump in? Ninja Boogie he jumps right into the pit. Little does he know the Anti-Mage is there. Oh, that could have been brilliant. But ends up being awful.
I was about to say, it looked almost amazing. If he gets his...
If he blinks in there, stuns...
and while Roshan's hitting Anti-Mage...
Maybe you get the kill then.
Then you Hex. That would have been very close to an Anti-Mage kill, I feel. Yeah. I think with Roshan hitting AM, if you Impale and Hex him and Finger, I think he dies.
Lord Boons, he's going to give the bailout here to the Ember, but Glimpse back, Remnant's out again. Will end up falling. Miracle was waiting for him with the right clicks, and the Anti-Mage's blades will bring him down, even though he's lacking the Golden Bashers. Doesn't need them. Lord Boons will fall, and meanwhile, the dive Miracle committing with the Aegis. He'll end up dropping once, but this allows for a second life with full HP. 3 heroes dead. It might be 4. Slicks now taking the follow-up stun from Kai. They didn't even need the epicenter. Sandstorm damage combines here, and it's Fixers who casually walks away with the triple kill. 11 Bloodstone charges, and First Departure now completely in control of this one, GoDz. 12k experience, 10k gold, all the lanes starting to shove in, and the high ground now will be attempted.
Yeah, getting near impossible just to deal with the Anti-Mage in any capacity, and it's not just the Anti-Mage, it's the Lina who's got 11 charges, the Sand King who's got the Blink Full Staff duo, and well, now you're going to have to deal with the lane of Mega Creeps as well, it looks like, as the melee racks at mid going down fast.
And an Anti-Mage with another item, 3,600 gold, and Lion getting used here. Fixers wants to go on this. He has Laguna 3 seconds time. He will get that kill. Miracle actually the last hit. Now Illusion Jesus tanking the full brunt of an epicenter. Lord Boon's engaged already. Miracle just skirting the periphery of the fight here. Not afraid. He blinks forward. There's a charge coming down the middle lane. The whole gang's arriving. They're going to commit for this guy. The 2-hero burrow. Big plays again from Kai. This Sand King has really caught Bananas with their pants down. And they will end up losing more. Lord Boon's potentially trapped out. Lina stunned. There's the Laguna. No Blade Mail counterplay available this time. And this might just be the GG here for make it a team wipe. If Slicks doesn't beat KB, he will beat KB. He goes back in with the call down. The final moments, it seems, for Bananas. Bash from the Nether Strike and done. Well, they may not GG out, but it really feels this one's just out of reach.
Yeah, I think that was kind of maybe the moment. I think they don't just because they have tier 2 towers, so they're not going to lose the second lane of racks. And they're probably like, well, if we're going to lose the second lane of racks, you definitely GG out, but for now, they'll hold on. They'll maybe make one last hurrah, but
I'm getting a puzzled look from one of our kittens right now. We've got a Munchkin like, why are they not GGing out? Also, I want to eat, if that's a possibility. Even the cats are confused, but
mostly the first question.
Yes. Mostly the GG question. The food's, yeah, not a big deal. But either way, there's a new item now. It's a heart. Miracle going safety. Safety first, and with the heart complete. He's already got 2 components and the recipe. He will be a god amongst boys, really. Not much chance he dies.
There's still no Battle Fear in Ember Spirit, and still not really even close as well. He's good, what, 15 to 1,600 gold away from it, so.
The solo mid Anti-Mage, he didn't dominate the lane that hard, but it's more, he never died really after the early game, and Miracle patient, finding his farm. Kai getting caught out a bit here by Ninja Boogie, but not much follow-up, and they're just going to commit for this. Clockwork, oh, the hook, not the one he was looking for. That's not the hook they needed. They will still commit for this fight. They do have the Witcher's Curse available deploying it, but Kyle, the only one being punished by this Miracle, still rather tanky. The heart recipe was not delivered. He bounces off of the cogs. They are setting up with the counter epi, though. Down they go. 3 dead, and Lord Boon's the 4th to drop. It's an Ultra. It's a Rampage, and it's freaking G. Miracle Dota, ladies and gentlemen.
That's one way to do it. That was more the Miracle we're expecting to show up, not the funky kind of... Well, I mean, he always does every now and then, pulls out a different little pick, plays a different play style where he goes ganking a lot more, like it's kind of his Legion commander, in today's case, the Tusk, but this was a much more classic Miracle performance.
Well, I imagine First Departure look at these 2 games, GoDz, and they think, let's stick with our comfort zone here and just keep Miracle. And it doesn't have to be a hard carry necessarily, but someone who can at least scale with farm a little bit better than a Tusk.
Yeah, it seemed to suit well. Fix has also had a great game on Lina, and I think Clockwork gave them maybe a bit too easy of a time. It's a terrible matchup. Playing against a Lina Disruptor, a Glimpse Kinetic Field into an LSA, like that's a 2-hero combo you just can't mess with, and it's
and the cogs don't help you because they both are ranged. They've got it's like a guaranteed Light Strike array, basically, even, so. Yeah, it didn't have the best laning stage, but it felt like maybe the bigger issue was just they didn't get enough farm on their cores here to at least have a shot later
It looked really promising for Bananas because Lina got the 8-minute Yules, TP'd to the top lane, and immediately Bananas killed 2 heroes, and from there I was like, oh, they're actually going to deal with this okay. Now they've seen it, and then it just all fell apart.
I felt like they didn't rotate the gyro as much as I would have liked. He came to 1 fight mid, but there was 2 or 3 he didn't, and like you imagine if this was C-Deck with the similar draft, I feel like aggressive is there every fight. But.
Yes.
Well, with that said, First Departure, they bounce back here. It means we get a Game 3, guys, so stick around. That Game 3 coming up next. You're watching the first BTS SEA Cup here at the BTS Series. We'll be back.